Come on, Dallas. You know you want him. You know you need him. Jalen Reagor could be yours for the simple price of a 2093 7th-round pick. Why? Because the Eagles are still shopping Jalen Reagor. Dallas still stinks. Jalen Reagor stinks. God, he needs a shrink. Oh, you're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. We'll save that song for later in the year. The newest iTunes hottest song coming out for the football season. Anyways, we are one day away from training camp. From it all beginning, man. It's beginning. One day away. Cannot wait. And you know what? Things are happening. The Eagles are still shopping Jalen Reagor, and that's huge. Now, we're going to get into it in a minute. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for Eagles content, daily content. It's football season, baby. It's football season. If you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Pop on moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, let's get into this all because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to talk about, right? First thing first, the Eagles report tomorrow. Eagles players report for physicals starting 8 a.m. Tuesday. Reporting time staggered throughout the day until Nick Sirianni's team meeting at 6 p.m. Sirianni will speak to reporters before the Wednesday a.m. practice. That's right, a.m. practice on Wednesday. Eagles report, take their physicals. And let me tell you, one guy that's got to pass his physical is Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor, if you remember last year, he failed his physical. It was very disappointing. He had a lot of mental things going on, no question about it. I think the whole Jalen Reagor situation is really interesting. And if I had to put money on it, what I think is going to happen is I don't think he'll be in Philly when it's all said and done. Now, the question is can they trade him or is he going to wind up getting cut? Back around April, the Eagles did allow Jalen Reagor to seek a trade. They talked to teams like Baltimore about possibly trading him. There were rumors about Atlanta. The Eagles tried to move him. No question about it. The thing that I find interesting, though, is you have a first-round pick going into his third year who's making, a certain amount of money, and he of course, was a first-round pick. What happens if the Eagles cannot move him? What happens if he's on their roster? Are they going to really make him the 5th, 6th receiver? Are they really going to bury him on the depth chart? I hope they would, and they should. But sometimes with front offices, they don't do that. They push guys because they're paying a guy more or he was drafted earlier, so we have to see. But it sounds like the Eagles could be ready to move on from him, okay? There's Ian Rappaport is reporting today that the Eagles are still looking for potential trade partners for Jalen Reagor, and they may get it. Sometimes you have to be patient. You have to wait it out. You wait for injuries to happen, things like that. But here's what Ian Rappaport said on NFL Network. He said, Reagor was the subject of some speculation and trade calls. There was some conversation going on between the draft. I kind of wondered if one of those receiver-needy teams, maybe the Chiefs, maybe the Packers, would make a run at Jalen Reagor. In the end, it just wasn't enough compensation. I think the main problem the Eagles have with Reagor is he still could be good. We've seen teams like the Rams, for instance, win a Super Bowl with 4 receivers. They, the Eagles, may still need him. We'll see if he ends up sticking. And to me, that is really the big question with Reagor. Is he going to stick around? Because if he sticks around, let's say, just for an example, okay? Let's say, or just a what if, let's just say he's on the team. He's on the team. I can see the front office going, dude, we're paying this guy $2-3 million more than Pascal, than Quez Watkins. He was a first-round pick. We gotta try to salvage this pick. We've got to try to do something, especially with Howie Roseman. The little man does not like to give up on draft picks. We know this. We know this. So the question's going to be, can they move Jalen Reagor? I think they want to move him. I think they would like to trade something for him. And if they can do that, it frees up the rest of the depth chart. But if they can't do it, are they willing to sit him on this team as the 6th receiver, as the 5th receiver? Or do they just flat out cut him? I think at the end of the day, they flat out cut him. Now, here's the other thing. I want to go back a year ago. I want to go back to training camp a year ago. And if you guys remember, we had Zach Ertz. And I got a lot of heat because I said the Eagles are going to trade Ertz. They're going to trade him. People say it's too late. They're not going to trade him now. They can't get anything for him. It's not happening, 500. It's not happening. Stop saying they're going to trade Ertz. But the Eagles played it perfectly. And a lot of it is because of Zach Ertz and the class act that he is. Okay? They went and they brought Ertz in. They put him with the first team. They started giving him reps. Then they started building him up through the media. Zach Ertz is coming. He looks great. Zach Ertz does everything we ask. He looks really good. You put him out there early in preseason. Get him some balls early. Build up his trade value. Build up that mother humper, baby. Build it up. That's what the Eagles did with Ertz. And they waited and waited. Because if you remember, Ertz's trade value had plummeted from where it was a few years ago because of his injuries. People thought that, for what he wanted to make, he was injured. His value had plummeted if you go back a year. But the Eagles handled it perfectly. He came in, he worked. The coaches built him up. The GM built him up. They played him preseason. And they patiently waited. And they waited. And when you got closer to the trade deadline, they moved him to Arizona, and they got something for him. I thought the Eagles handled it perfectly. If they can get into Reagor's ear, and you can have Reagor come in, and he's in shape, and he can pass the physical, all right? Let's say that happens. You bring him in, you start with practices, you put him out, you have the media watch, right? The media comes early in, and they watch. Have him line up with the starting team. Line him up in the slot with the starting team. Even if you don't have intentions of having him there, do it. Get him some balls. And then brag about how good Reagor looks. Reagor looks good. Reagor did this. Reagor did that. Oh my gosh, did you see Reagor at practice? Put it out in the media. Let people like Philly 500 come and talk about it. Because I'm a sucker. I'll do it. You know what I mean? I get excited for stupid things. Last year he makes a one-handed catch. And everybody's talking about it. I'm like, oh, Reagor's ready to go. Yeah, what a dingbat. It's like watching Ben Simmons shoot 3-pointers on Instagram, thinking that it's going to matter. When the game comes, it does nothing. But if you play it right, if you build him up, you get him out there, and he plays the role too, and he says, I'm happy to be here. I can't wait to give everything to the team, and I can't wait, And he comes out, and his attitude is good. The Eagles' attitude is good. You build up his trade value, and there will be a team. There will be somebody, whether it's Kansas City, Green Bay, Dallas, some team that has a lot of injuries, a wide receiver in training camp. Somebody will say, you know what? Let's take a chance on Reagor. It looks like he's in shape. It looks like he's doing everything the Eagles ask. We're hearing good things. Good reports are coming out from Philly about Reagor. Let's take a chance on him. Let's do it. And you build his value up, and then you trade him for a 2093 7th-round pick. Because right now you only could get like a 2134 pick. Like in 2134, you may get a 7th-round pick. But if you could build him up a lot, maybe by 2093, you could get a 7th-round pick. So in 2093, when we're all dead, they got a 7th-round pick for Reagor. Thank God you got something. Dallas, do it, Dallas. Do it. Come on, Dallas. You want him. You know you need him. You need him. Do it. Do it, Dallas. White rerun. Dallas needs Reagor. Dallas needs Reagor. That should be a song. Dallas needs Reagor. Why not? Why not? But I mean, look, in all seriousness, I'm sure the Eagles are shopping Jalen Reagor. I'm sure they want to trade Jalen Reagor. But what are they going to get? I mean, what are they looking for? That's the question. I mean, we talked about, they were talking about Chuck Clark and then Reagor and like a third-round pick or something like that. Teams don't value Reagor right now. One, Reagor has shown nothing. Two, Reagor, he's had problems with social media and things off the field. And the first thing you have to repair with Reagor is you have to say he's ready and in shape. He's mentally ready to go. He's in a good place. All that kind of stuff. Then you got to get him on the field. In my opinion, and my man, shout out to Joe Shakes, but he don't agree with me. We disagree on this. He thinks that the Eagles have no problem making Reagor the sixth receiver, and that's it. I think that as long as he's on this roster, you're going to get a front office that is going to try to justify him making the millions he makes, and they're going to try to justify that he was a first-round pick. So when we start training camp, they're going to make him third on the depth chart, and they're going to do it for two reasons. One, in hopes that he can be the guy and they can get more production out of him for where he was drafted and what he makes. But the other part of it is a strategy. The strategy is smart. Build up Reagor. Build him up mentally, physically. Build him up in the media. Get the rumors and the reports out there that he's ready to go, and get a team to hopefully make a trade for him. That's what you got to hope for. That's what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, I do think they want to trade Reagor. I don't know if they're going to be able to. And then the final question is if they can't, are they prepared to cut him? If I had to guess, I would say yes. I think they may. But I bet you, I also would bet you this. If they've given Reagor permission to seek a trade, they've also got a plan to trade him during camp somehow. And hopefully Reagor knows that too, and he's going to play it perfectly, and you build up trade value. You got to build up his trade value. You do. And so, like I said, even if you don't want him to line up in like the first several practices as the third receiver, do it anyways. Do it anyways, or at least when the media is out there watching. So that way, you can start hyping him up. And then you trade him. 2093, baby. 7th round pick. What are you going to do? With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Okay, Better Call Saul fans, tonight is the night. Another Better Call Saul episode, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Now, I got to show you guys this little ad that they put out for tonight's episode, okay? Because me and my wife were kind of discussing this and debating about what's going to happen. Now, if you haven't watched Better Call Saul, this is a spoiler warning, so watch out for it, because we're going to talk about some stuff that has happened. But if you've been watching the show and you want to continue watching this, it's interesting, right? So here's what they put out tonight, right? Cinnabon in black and white with a ring. Now, my wife says that's the wedding ring Saul had, but I think that's his pinky ring. And of course, it's in black and white. All the Gene scenes, the future the fast forwards are in the future, with Gene, and it's always in black and white, and he's working at Cinnabon, right? That looks like his pinky ring to me. So, to me, this looks like, my wife doesn't totally agree, but this looks like we are going into Gene territory. We are going into fast forward past Breaking Bad. I predict tonight we're going to see Walter and Jesse return. We're going to be, for most of the show, we're going to be in the Breaking Bad timeline. But at the end, they're going to fast forward to Gene, and we're going to finally see what happens there, which is going to be interesting. Had to talk about it. Love Better Call Saul. Denzel Washington, out.